Live from Chattanooga, Main Street Sports Today comes to you from the 2023 Blue Cross Bowl State Championship. Coverage from Davenport Field at Finley Stadium is brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Remember, fans, don't let fans drive drunk. Yes, it is the Main Street Sports Today Road Show. Thanks to our friends at Fast Stop.
And our friends at truckingtn.com.
And our friends at truckingtn.com. Man, we are eastbound and down and in Chattanooga. What a fantastic day it is here at the Blue Cross Bowl State Championships in Chattanooga, inside Finley Stadium. A beautiful, beautiful Thursday.
It's been fantastic, man.
Maybe it's us. Maybe when we come to Chattanooga, the weather just follows.
Hey, I'm not mad at it.
We weren't here last year, and it was brutal.
We were here the year before, and it was fantastic.
So maybe it's us.
And thus far.
There you go.
So far. Now, I hear it's like Patrick Swayze in Next of Kin. You ain't seen bad, but it's coming.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah, but
we're gonna
enjoy it for now.
That's right. We're gonna hope that things are just fine.
Mm-hmm.
But again, we are here at Finley Stadium at the Blue Cross Bowl State Championships. It's Prep Thursday. We've got a lot of preps coming your way. If you missed the teaser video that we did a little bit earlier, we do have Stephen Hargis who's going to join us, talk a little bit about South Pittsburgh and other Southeast Tennessee teams, and anybody else that he's seen to this point prior to the season, as Middle Tennessee Christian and Friendship Christian getting ready to kick off here in the 3 o'clock game. 3 o'clock here.
3 o'clock Eastern.
2 o'clock back home. If you're watching in God's time zone, as our friend Matt Brown will tell you. And
I tend to agree.
Absolutely. But, looking forward to this. It's going to be a lot of fun. Again, Terry McCormick's going to be here at the top of the hour. And we'll talk with Charles Rathbone, whose Patriots will be making their third trip to the state finals tomorrow night.
Third trip in as many years.
Yep. Going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking very much forward to it. Hope you guys are as well. We've got plenty to talk about. Plenty. And the news just keeps coming.
Yeah, it does.
As the show grew closer, we just kept getting news, and more news, and fully expect to get more news by the end of the show. So before we do anything else, it is time to give them yesterday's results and today's schedule on the rundown.
This is the rundown.
The Thursday Rundown is brought to you by Mockingbird Title and Escrow, an attorney-owned and operated full-service title company in Middle Tennessee that will get your deals closed without worry and fuss. A family business that offers the highest level of expertise in the industry when it comes to closing and funding your real estate transactions. Consider them part of your team. Call 615-274-8698 or visit mockingbirdtitletn.com today.
Boys basketball action last night. Antioch was a 51-45 winner over USN. Lead Academy 71, Clarksville Northwest 59. In men's basketball on the collegiate side, Lipscomb, as we talked to Joe Sullivan yesterday about, a 82-68 winner over Chattanooga. North Carolina downs Tennessee 100-92, and didn't feel anywhere near that close. Morehead State 61, Austin P 50. Belmont thrashes Northern Iowa 90-70. Boston College gets an 80-62 win over Vanderbilt. Alabama A&M in overtime edges Tennessee State 85-83, and UT Southern goes down to Stillman and gets a 94-75 win. On the women's side, Tennessee women fall to Notre Dame.
After leading by 16.
Jeez. 74-69. Did lose Rakia Jackson in that one again. Belmont always good when you can whoop Troy. I don't care who's
no matter
doing
who's
it.
doing it.
72-68 over the Lady Trojans. North Carolina State 70-62 winners over Vanderbilt. Very, very valiant effort from the Commodore women against the number 5 team in the country.
First loss of the year for Vanderbilt.
And so, got to feel confident if you are, again, the Commodore women. Middle Tennessee State goes over to Houston and throttles the Cougars. 70-45. UT Southern completed the sweep of Stillman, 71-64 on the women's side. And in this association, the Memphis Grizzlies on the left side of the column for the first time in a while. 105-91 winners over the Utah Jazz.
Also here earlier, Christ Presbyterian Academy with a 35-13 win over Boyd Buchanan for the Division II AA state championship. High school basketball tonight, 6 o'clock starts, double headers. Martin Luther King is at Cane Ridge. Hickman County is at Creekwood. Franklin Road Academy goes to Davidson Academy. Glencliff hosts Macon County. Stewart County is at Joe Burns. Laverne taking on visiting Clarksville. Giles County goes over to Shelbyville, and Forest is at Summit. Girls basketball only. 5 o'clock start, Good Pasture at Harpeth. There we go. Boys basketball only at 8:30. Nettleton of Arkansas is at Ross. Well, plays Rossview.
Yeah, I'm not sure where it is.
Yeah, not sure where it's at. Football, as we mentioned, the Division II-A state championship getting ready to kick off here in just a second between Middle Tennessee Christian and Friendship Christian. And at 6
Lebanon,
Central
stand
Time,
up.
you're right, 6 Central Time, 7 here in Chattanooga, it will be the crosstown rivalry of McCallie and Baylor in D2 AAA. College basketball doubleheaders tonight. Rust is at Fisk, women at 5, men at 6:30. Women's basketball. Lipscomb is in Johnson City taking on the Lady Buccaneers of ETSU on the ice.
The return.
The return of John Hines, plural,
With an
as the
S6.
Minnesota Wild come to Bridgestone Arena taking on the Nashville Predators. Predators going for number 7.
Lucky number 7.
There we go. Seattle at Dallas in the National Football League. That's a 7:15 kickoff. You can see it on Amazon Prime. And before we join you tomorrow, East Nashville and Alcoa right back here. 11 o'clock start Central. No. 11 o'clock start Eastern. 10 o'clock Central. Don't want you sleeping through it. You can see it on my TV 30. That's for the Class AAA, Class 3A state championship.
Now, wait, did we find out earlier that game is not on?
It's not on in Knoxville.
Okay.
All the games are on in Nashville
okay,
on
good.
my TV 30.
Got
So
it.
yeah, you can also see it on NFHS if you so desire. I think you have to pay for it though. So my TV 30.
Get an antenna. It's free.
There you go. That is your rundown.
All right, top story is brought to you as always by our friends at Piggly Wiggly in Neely's Mill Shopping Center in Columbia. Make sure to go by and see our friends at Piggly Wiggly. They've got great deli if you want cobblers or meat, vegetables, lunch. You can put it all together, make your own. It's delicious. Fresh hand-cut meats daily, of course, and great produce. All cost plus 10 at the register. Again, that's Piggly Wiggly, Neely's Mill Shopping Center in Columbia. Top story, CPA, you mentioned it. A 35-13 winner over Gary Rankin and Boyd Buchanan. Pretty dominant performance from the Lions and Ingle Martin's group. Like you said, we're on a mission from the get.
Yeah, and whatever suspense there was, you talk a lot about the middle eight, the last 4 minutes of the second quarter, the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. CPA scored in both of them, doubling a 14-3 lead out to 28-3. And, CPA got it down to 28-13. I'm sorry. Boyd Buchanan got it down to 28-13
in the fourth quarter.
CPA scored late. So, 30 seniors for CPA.
Yeah,
They
they're-
kind of been building to this year, I would imagine.
They have, and this is, I mean, they've been here several times before
Third
this
state
year.
championship in 6 years.
Yeah, and so this is a, you know, Ingle Martin's built a program, and it's not, this is not a team. This is a program. I fully expect, despite losing 30 seniors, that they will be competing for a state championship in the next year. I really feel like, you know, that's just that's the expectation at Christ Presbyterian at this point. And, you know, I just feel like this is going to be another building block for that program.
Yeah, it's an expectation, like you said, and they have certainly lived up to that. Cruz Law, the North Carolina commit, got them on the board with a 73-yard touchdown. He was named the MVP of the game. Finished with 121 rushing yards on 9 carries.
121 on 9. That's a pretty good yards per carry average right there.
You'll take that. You will take that. And then young Mr. Patterson, who we were talking about from the beginning of the season,
From the
that
start.
Brentwood Academy game.
No, we talked about in after they played Columbia Central in the Jamboree.
That's right.
That's how that's how long we've been seeing this kid, and knew he was going to be special.
Freshman. Right?
Freshman.
16 carries,
Like I
108
said,
yards, 2 touchdowns.
They're going to be back because they can ride that kid all
Or
they
if
want.
they're not back, somebody's going to have to deal with them to get here.
Ain't no doubt.
So, yeah. Like you said, dominant performance out of CPA in this one as they won another one to get this thing started. So, Middle Tennessee, as you said, Chris, has one state championship in pocket, and by the time this one's over, they'll have a second, since you got 2 mid-state teams playing each other.
That's right. And you know, before we get through this, we neglected to mention yesterday on the show because we were a little busy. And we're looking at Class A now. Good Pasture has a new football coach.
A new football
Yeah,
coach.
a new old football coach.
Tyler.
What?
No.
It starts
Tyler
with a T.
Turner. Tyler Turner. Return of Turner.
Ooh, nice.
Thank
You
you.
can use that.
Yeah. Feel free. Feel free. No charge. Yeah. He was here not that long ago,
Yeah, he
because I
wasn't.
think Greg Cotton replaced
him
him.
in
He was
19?
here. Cotton was here 3 years. So yeah. No, not 19.
20.
Mm-hmm. 21, 22, 20. Yeah.
So
But Turner is back. He had been at Olive Branch down in
That's right.
Mississippi and had a lot of success down there. Was also at Jackson Prep. I think since he left Good Pasture, he's been over in Arkansas. And I don't know that he was a head coach, but he's back in charge of the Cougars once again. And everybody seems pretty excited to have him back. So
yeah, it always good when you feel like you can come back to a place.
yeah.
And so
While we're talking about coaching moves,
well,
again,
I was going to say.
go ahead. My bad.
My segue was
Mhm.
Good Pasture has a coach, but there's another team in Middle Tennessee who now doesn't.
Does not. Yes. Well, now there's at least 2. But yeah, most recently, Rock Batten stepped down yesterday at Ensworth after 5 seasons, which is interesting because his former position
Is also
is open. Yeah. Jonas Rodriguez stepped down at Battleground Academy earlier this week. Jonas Rodriguez, who replaced Rock Batten at BGA. So,
Again, it's always nice if you can go
can-
back. Hey, maybe there's an option there.
I mean, he had some success at BGA. Maybe he's attractive over there again.
Maybe he is. I mean, I can't imagine why Rock Batten wouldn't be attracted to just about anybody.
Right.
I mean, he's a great football coach. So
Right. And a super guy as well.
absolutely. So
But,
yeah, this is
My
the coaching carousel in Middle Tennessee
It's
private
spinning
schools
pretty
is
good right now.
already
it's
rolling.
it's in motion. I'm probably more curious as to what's going on out on Highway 100 at Ensworth.
I mean, it is interesting. I mean, it doesn't seem like you would leave Ensworth for no good reason.
It doesn't seem.
And so it begs the question, why?
What is the good reason?
What is the reason? As Eli Wilson.
Eli Wilson to the house?
Eli Wilson, no, he's run down, but pretty big gain there.
Okay.
Mr.
Now be
Football.
careful now,
Yeah, I know, we
because
can't,
without the express written consent, yeah, and we don't have it. So
we can get it. Let's just make a phone call real quick.
well, it still wouldn't be written.
Can you send me an email if you don't mind?
Yeah, text it. Text it. Then it would be written.
There you go. But yeah, this is an interesting situation that Middle Tennessee coaching. Lipscomb's open, Brentwood Academy's open, Ensworth is open,
Good
BGA
Lord.
is open.
Goodness gracious. I guess Franklin Road Academy and Davidson and Nashville Christian are kind of happy they're sitting this one out, huh? Or for now.
That's what I say. You thank your lucky stars, but you also keep praying that you have a coach, in the next few weeks.
We just made a few ADs nervous.
Maybe for now. You just got to be careful.
No, we don't know anything.
Well, yeah, we know nothing. Speculation on my part.
But yeah.
Yeah. Who are we and what do we know?
Not a thing.
So,
not a thing. Yeah.
But yeah, I was thinking, I was like, I don't know when have jobs like this been open at the same time? And
right.
How do you fill them?
I mean, you kind of wonder, are there enough established head coaches to go around necessarily? I mean, do you have to roll the dice on an assistant? Do you go out of the area yet again? I feel like Brentwood Academy would say no.
Yeah, Brentwood Academy is probably going to stick. If they can find somebody nearby, they're going to go with somebody they're familiar with and that's familiar with them.
Yeah, I think they're going to go with somebody a little bit more established and a little bit more familiar this time around. So,
but one of the attractive things about a private school football coaching job is you can go get a guy who's been successful in the public school realm, maybe who has enough time to retire.
There seem to be a few more options available for you at the private school level.
Well, it just opens up the ability, because not everybody can afford to get out of the system and go. No matter what they're paying you, that retirement isn't accumulating and accruing.
So if you're getting somebody like a Gary Rankin who is going to double dip.
And then it helps you on the. I mean, obviously, Brentwood Academy, Lipscomb Academy probably can pay whatever they need to pay. But if for a place like BGA or whatever that they've got enough money too. But
they're not on that same level.
You don't have to pay them, what
because
they necessarily
are worth,
because they're already getting that paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
From the state. So that helps you a little bit in the private school area.
It will be interesting to see what direction a lot of these programs go in. Again, BGA is a fascinating situation. Ensworth is certainly a fascinating situation coming off the successful year that they had under Rock Batten. Again.
Touchdown Cougars.
Somebody just scored.
Touchdown Cougars.
Touchdown Cougars for the early lead, huh? Okay.
If I'm not mistaken, that was a fake field goal or a fake special teams play turned to touchdown. Because it was 4th and 9 on their own 24-yard line.
And a passing touchdown from Middle Tennessee Christian.
Very rare.
Very rare.
I saw one 2 weeks ago.
One.
Yeah. But yeah, it's super rare to see that. So that's interesting.
We talked a little bit about this real contrasting coaches in this ball game with John McNeil, who has been at Friendship Christian forever. It was Chip we were talking to, because Chip Walters, friend of the show, and Kelly Holcomb, friend of mine, are working the television broadcast for this one. And again, McNeil has been at Friendship Christian for more than 30 years. Christian Patterson in his first season at Middle Tennessee Christian. So, both ends of the coaching experience spectrum in this one.
Coach Patterson, a great joy to talk to. I got a chance to talk with him twice this
Yeah, we did.
year. And, he likes it when I'm in attendance at his ball games. I can tell you that. He's 2-0 when Chris Yow's in attendance.
Well, I'm glad he likes it. Maybe you need to go work in Murfreesboro because I'm not so sure Seth Anderson does.
Seth Anderson probably
you might be banned.
less happy when I show up. But,
I don't think you had anything to do with it.
This is a good football team, and it's going to be two great football teams playing for a state championship. You got Eli Wilson, who I just mentioned, the state Mr. Football. Is he a finalist?
No.
Semifinalist.
Mm-hmm.
Tyson Walcott, Mr. Football finalist. So and
that guy
likely
has
winner.
put up.
I don't know how you don't give it to him. 52 touchdowns, 2,700 rushing
almost
yards.
2,800 rushing yards.
Just,
Yeah.
Video game.
Mm-hmm.
Video game numbers.
High school numbers.
Literally. So anyway, all right, let's take a quick break before we hold on. We had something else in the top story. Oh, Kurt Signetti
Yes.
is headed to Indiana.
Indiana. Yeah.
That.
The James Madison coach. How long was he there? 2 years?
Yeah, maybe. He was a former Alabama assistant and from 2007 to 2010. He coached quarterbacks at Alabama. He coached A.J. McCarron. So how about that? He's a former West Virginia quarterback himself, so that's how he and Nick Saban, I'm sure.
Okay. He was at James Madison from 19 to 23.
Gotcha. So
previously head coach at Elon.
Yeah.
So,
but now headed to the Big Ten to Indiana. And as someone told me yesterday, said, there's no look. Indiana's looking for 8-4. They would love to be 8-4. They've never won double-digit games in the history of their program.
Oh, my goodness.
Been playing football for more than 100 years, never won double-digit games. They're not worried about that. They ain't trying to do nothing more than go 8-4. And that didn't rhyme on purpose, but it happens. And Signetti, 62 years old.
Right.
And, leaving James Madison doesn't seem like maybe a great idea for
right now.
The program, that you're going to go into from the one you have. But he's making $850,000 a year.
He'll be making a little bit more.
He's going to be making more. Yeah. And you know what? If you can do it, do it.
I'm never against someone improving their financial situation.
And especially as much as his is about to improve. Right. So
I thought he had been there for 2 years because James Madison has been FBS for 2 years, over which he has gone 19-4. So
in 2 years at the FBS level as a transitioning member from FCS.
Yeah.
So did he win a national championship?
No, lost in the national championship game his first year.
Gotcha. They won it the year before that then.
Yeah, I think they did. I think that was kind of pivotal in their decision to bump up. Yeah.
All right, we are going to take that break now, Justin. And again, thanks to our friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office for our coverage from the Blue Cross Bowl and our recap earlier of the CPA game. We will have more on Preps Thursday here on the Main Street Sports Today Roadshow, fueled by Fast Stop. We'll be right back to the Mobile Lee Company studio right after this.
He shoots, and he scores!
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handlers supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mockingbird Title and Escrow is an attorney-owned and operated full-service title company in Middle Tennessee. We get your deals closed without worry and fuss. We're a family business that offers the highest level of expertise in our industry when it comes to closing and funding your real estate transactions.
And it's a job I really love. I'm passionate about this. I'm enthusiastic about this. I like to think we're pretty well-rounded and can deal with a wide range of needs and a wide range of clients.
Call 615-274-8698 today.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back into Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. We are live at Davenport Field, Finley Stadium, in downtown Chattanooga. At Visit Chat, if you're looking to make a trip, they've got plenty of options for you. Make sure to check that out. And this would not be possible without our friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Fans don't let fans drive drunk. And Mo, anytime that you can be at a state championship, it's a good time. We have so much fun at the Blue Cross Bowl, the basketball championship, spring fling. It's always a blast. Mm-hmm. For us, it's never not fun. Sometimes for teams and coaches, there are parts of it that may not be as fun, but it's never bad when you can get here as a team and as a coach. Our next guest will be making his third straight appearance in the Blue Cross Bowl. And on Coach's Corner, we have Page Coach Charles Rathbone joining us. Coach, congratulations, and thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me. I appreciate that.
Absolutely, Coach, and welcome back to chat. As Chris mentioned, it's never not fun, but I get the feeling that maybe this trip hasn't been as fun as it could be for you.
Well, I mean, when you're down there, you always want to win it, right? But, I mean, you got to put everything into perspective. Last year, West was just a better team than we were. You know, we feel like we kind of ready and last year, West was pretty good. So it looks like we're going to go all right and see what happens.
As someone just scored again.
I believe that was a tying or a touchdown that could tie.
Oh, okay. Coach, the wind is picking up. What do you feel like as you look at what took place for you guys last year? What has taken place to this point for you guys this year? What do you feel like you need to tweak tomorrow night?
Well, we got to match their intensity and their physicality. I feel like last year they came in So we didn't match that physicality, and it just kind of trickled down through all 4 quarters. And tomorrow we got to match that physicality and then some, and we got to answer back when they score, and we got to play our assignment football and not get rattled. We got the guys to do that.
With some of the guys that you've got on your roster this time around, you know, a lot of those guys played in this game last year. Some of them even played in that game 2 years ago. How do you feel like that helps you guys respond to the not get rattled and to the answer their physicality specifically?
Well, you know, I mean, I think just being there before helps. You know, what we've been dealing with mostly this week is just kind of keeping the distractions under control. I mean, we got such great support here at Page High School with the parents and everybody else, but at times you got to say, let's focus on the game. Let's not focus on a pep rally, or not focus on making signs, or focus on shirts, or focus on meals. You know, let's worry about celebrating after the game, not celebrating because we got here, celebrate because we won it. So that's been a huge challenge for us this week. And, you know, it's just something we got to learn to deal with. And we got to get our minds right and get ready to play tomorrow.
Coach, I imagine that's a tough balance to strike too, because, you know, there are folks saying, you know, enjoy the ride and that kind of thing. And like you said, the Page community has really embraced this team and this program over the last few years. And I know they do want to celebrate what you've accomplished to this point, but, you know, how do you go about holding folks at arm's length and saying, you know, we can celebrate forever after Friday night if we win this thing? Let's just, like you said, focus on Friday night.
Well, at some point you got to be brutally honest and say enough is enough, you know, and let us do our jobs and get these guys ready, and you be supportive and be there to cheer us on Friday. And then after Friday, I'm open. After we win it, we'll do whatever y'all want to do. You know, we'll put up a water tower or whatever they want, you know, but right now let's just play football. You know, let's practice, let them get their minds right. Because at some point you got to come down off that high of last week, prepare for this week, and then get back up for this week. If you never come back down, then at some point you'll go bottom out and you're not going to be able to get back up. And hopefully we've been able to accomplish getting them back down and getting them prepared for this week.
Charles Rathbone, Page football coach, joining us here on Main Street Sports today. Coach, you know, it's so funny sometimes how cliches become cliches, but if defense wins championships, you got to feel like you guys have a shot, because you've got a heck of a defense this time around.
Yeah, I mean, I always feel like we got a shot. If you don't feel like you got a shot, you should be playing the game. But, you know, West has a good defense. I'm just hoping it's not a 3-0 game one way or the other. That'd be boring. So, I mean, we got to figure out how to break their defense. Our defense has played great all year. They're the ones that got us here. You know, holding Southwind to 10 points and 7 points for Centennial the week before. And, you know, when you got guys like Amison and Haynes and Hazard and all those guys that are playing, you know, you got to feel excited about your opportunity and your chances. And the good thing is we got 8 of those guys coming back next year. So, I mean, hopefully this not going to be a one last game for us.
You know, Coach, I'm typically not big on reporting on and video and post-game huddles and that kind of thing, but someone videoed yours after that win over Southwind last week, and you capped it off by saying, "Mr. Football has spoken." Talk about Eric Hazard.
You know, and I've been very outspoken this week about Mr. Football. I don't even think there should be a Mr. Football award, to be honest with you. But if there is going to be an award, then I want somebody at Page to win it. You know, Eric's a great player. He benefits from the players around him, just like all these guys do. It's like being a quarterback. But you know, we're blessed to have a bunch of guys on defense that get after the football and get after the quarterback. And Eric's no hustle. He's an absolute hustle all the time type player, to where he is going to make plays that some other guys may quit on. You know, you know, for example, the last play the other night against Southwind, when we forced them into going for that quarterback or for the field goal. You know, Ronan O'Connell comes up the middle, breaks down, and the quarterback scrambles, and Eric cleans it up. So that's just an example a perfect example of this defense. There's always somebody there, and then there's somebody to clean up the mess. And you know, it's just a great tribute to the defense as a whole. And I'm proud of Eric, and I'm proud he's got the opportunity to be a Mr. Football finalist, and hopefully he wins it next week.
Coach,
defensive guys winning that award, very rare.
It's rare, but it has happened, and in fact, it has happened in Williamson County because Tyrell Dodson won it a few years back for Centennial. Current Buffalo Bills linebacker Tyrell Dodson, by the way. But 10-7 last week, 14-7 the week before that, as you mentioned, Coach. I would imagine Ethan Cunningham is going to be big for you guys tomorrow night, or he's going to need to be big for you guys tomorrow night.
He is. He's going to have to be big, and that O-line's going to have to be big. You know, we're going to have to block and hit the appropriate holes and hold on to the football most of all. You know, I mean, the other, you know, we scored 10 points last week. We also had a touchdown call back. We're inside the 25 two other times, didn't get any points. So I mean, we gotta finish drives, and that's been the story the last 2 weeks is we haven't finished drives. Ethan ran for just under 100 yards last week, and you know, the O-line's played great all year. And we got to figure out a way to punch it over the goal line when we get down there.
Yeah, it's obviously, you know, got to score points to win. It doesn't matter how good your defense is. You got to put points on the board, or you can't win the game. So obviously it's important. And so I really feel like this, you know, this Page team has the poise, the experience, and like you said, has a lot of guys who are hungry. If you could point to one thing where you feel like, you know, you guys will excel tomorrow night, what's the one thing that gives you the most confidence going into a state championship game against Knoxville West?
Now, you broke up the last little bit. What was it?
The one thing that gives you the most confidence as a coach to feel like you guys have a chance to take home that gold ball?
Well, you know, I think just the fact that, you know, we've been here before, and, you know, we do have some experience, and we got a good group of coaches and a good group of guys that are really hungry, and they played hard all year. And, you know, I just think, you know, I'm a pessimist at heart, so I never want to be overly confident. So I'm always going to give the pessimistic answer. But I feel good that we got a good group of kids who's going to line up and get everything they got and leave it out on the field. So I think the effort and hopefully the fact that we've done it before will push us over the edge tomorrow.
He's an old lineman, Chris. Charles Rathbone, football coach at Page High School out in Rudderville.
Say he's old.
Well, he's a former offensive lineman. How's that? My bad. Sorry, Coach.
No, that's all right. I agree with you.
But Charles Rathbone joining us here on Coach's Corner on Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. And know you probably got a walkthrough to get ready for, Coach, so we're going to let you go. But we appreciate you taking some time with us, and look forward to seeing you down here tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Touchdown Cougars. Friendship missed the extra point.
Yeah.
By the way.
So what are they going for?
No, this is touchdown Cougars.
But are they?
So it is 14-6 now.
Okay, so they got
Middle
the extra
Tennessee
point.
Christian.
Okay, there we go. I can't see.
Well, I'm just decided to look.
Yeah. Okay.
Back of my head is what it is. Always fun when you get a drop in from the VOT.
The VOT dropped by. Charles Pulliam lurking over here off the side.
Taking photographs.
Well, we don't get a whole lot of photographs of ourselves, so that's kind of a good thing. It's nice to have somebody looking out for us like that. But yeah, the VOT with the drive-by, I'm hoping maybe we can grab him when we don't have another guest on here, since he's doing a hit.
Well, let's
over
do
here
this.
Behind us.
Let's hand out some hardware, get to a break, and maybe we can grab it.
There we go. Let's do that.
So, the Custom Stone Handlers, Into Win Life, Team of the Week again, Custom Stone Handlers. 931-490-4990 is the number to call. Did that off the cuff. I should know it by now.
You should.
But
Yeah.
All right, we did it.
The Columbia Central Lady Lions went 3-0 last week. They defeated Summit 48-38. They defeated Sycamore 38-31, and they defeated Hillsborough 40-28. Speaking of defense,
Yeah, they play it well
so
and use that defense to score points.
they
how
turn you
score.
over and they get it going back the other way. And
A lot easier to do that. It's a lot easier to score points when you can just lay it in because you got to steal.
And they have a bunch that they get a lot of those.
They do.
So
Congratulations to Megan Moore.
Absolutely.
And the Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Athlete of the Week.
The Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Athlete of the Week is Zion Christian freshman
Is he
Aiden
just
Glenn.
a freshman? He was an 8th grader last year?
He was an 8th grader last year.
Wow.
Yes. You did not know?
I
You
thought he
didn't
was a
know?
freshman last year.
Yes. Aiden Glenn, in 2 Zion Christian victories last week, averaged 24.5 points, 5 assists, 5.5 rebounds, and 5 steals. Scored 29 points in a win over Middle Tennessee Christian. So, Aiden Glenn, Zion Christian freshman, is our Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Athlete of the Week.
All right, we will take a break. When we come back on the Main Street Sports Day Roadshow, fueled by Fast Stop. Don't forget your Fast Stop perks, Mo. Put in that phone number, get some perks. You can get up to $1 off a gallon of gas.
Ooh.
Always good. When you're
Never a
getting,
bad thing.
Yeah, when you're getting a little reprieve from the gas prices. So we'll be back right after this to Chattanooga on Main Street Sports Today. Stick around.
He shoots and he scores.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50 plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today. Mockingbird Title and Escrow is an attorney-owned and operated full-service title company in Middle Tennessee. We get your deals closed without worry and fuss. We're a family business that offers the highest level of expertise in our industry when it comes to closing and funding your real estate transactions.
And it's a job I really love. I'm passionate about this. I'm enthusiastic about this. I like to think we're pretty well rounded and can deal with a wide range of needs and a wide range of clients.
Call 615-274-8698 today.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
This is Chris Yao with Main Street Sports Today. Every show, Mo Patton and I welcome friends from all across the sports landscape, from high school coaches and reporters to national, college, and pro sports personalities. You never know who might stop by for a chat. AP Tennessee Sports Editor, 3-time Tennessee Sports Writer of the Year 2020 TSWA Hall of Famer. She covers the Titans, the Predators, the Grizzlies, college football, and hoops. Please make welcome Teresa Walker.
Former University of Tennessee, former Team USA Olympian, ex-Cy Young Award winner, R.A. Dickey. R.A., did I miss anything?
Man, that was sweet. Yeah, I need to listen to that before I go to bed every night. That was nice.
Has 5 sports Emmys. That's not bad for the other guy in Wham, Ryan McGee.
The other guy in Wham married the best looking girl, Bananarama, so the other guy in Wham had a pretty good life.
From preps to pros, we're taking on the sports topics you care about. Tune in across Main Street Media social platforms at 2 p.m. or on demand on your podcast distribution platform of choice. We are back on Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. It is the road show fueled by Fast Stop Markets. Again, Fast Stop Perks, best way to spend your perk dollars on a little gas. Great breakfast this morning. Had a little burrito. Easier to eat a burrito on the road, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
On the road, it's just easier. So I got the burrito this morning.
Or a sausage and cheese biscuit.
Did you? I mean, you didn't get biscuit all over you?
I did not.
Maybe
It was kind of flaky, but no, I got most of it in my mouth.
See, that's why I go with the burrito, because I don't want to have to deal with all the crumbs.
But I'm concerned with like ingredients from the burrito falling out. Was it what kind of burrito?
It was bacon, egg, and cheese. Yeah, just bacon, egg, and cheese. It was just in a wrap, not really a burrito.
Yeah,
per se, but it was good.
Sounds good.
It was. It was.
I might should have gone in that direction. Not that my sausage and cheese biscuit was bad, but that sounds good.
It was just It was delicious.
Yeah.
Here in Chattanooga, again at Finley Stadium for the Blue Cross Bowl State Championships, and that is thanks to our friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Fans, don't let fans drive drunk. We've got football here.
14-6 still?
Still 14-6. Third down and long for Friendship Christian.
Second quarter?
In the second quarter. 6:56 and counting. So.
There we go. 3rd and 9.
But let's talk a little hoops, because last night
very little.
ACC SEC Challenge.
So it was 4-3 SEC. Okay, it is
7-7.
Okay.
So ACC won yesterday 4-3.
So in Tennessee and Vanderbilt both contributed to that tie.
They did.
And to those 4 ACC
4
wins yesterday.
Yeah, Tennessee struggled defensively, man. What a great performance from North Carolina. Ball movement looked good, and it felt like they could not miss from beyond the arc.
I read something, because I didn't get to see a whole lot of that ball game. When I saw 7:15, I thought it was 7:15 Central. It was 7:15 Eastern. I turned it on at 6:45, and
it was
North Carolina was. So I turned it off.
Yes, exactly.
But,
Look, I don't have to be mad about this. I can turn this off and just not be mad.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's in my best interest not to watch any more of this, because it's not going to go the way I want it to. But I read something this morning that made a lot of sense. They said that Hubert Davis and the coaching staff in North Carolina did a great job, because they were up-tempo with it. Whenever they got a rebound, they were going before Tennessee could get set up defensively.
Yeah, absolutely. Anytime you don't have to deal with Tennessee's half-court defense is a good thing.
Right.
And that's what they did.
And as long as Tennessee's not making shots, they're going to see a lot more of that.
Well, and that's the thing, is you've got to – and that's what happened in the second half. Tennessee started scoring a little bit more. Dalton Connect, who is incredible, went down with an ankle injury. According to Wes Rucker of 24/7 Sports, was walking with no crutches, no boot to the he said he was limping, but on his own power to the bus following the game. So that's huge.
That's promising.
News. Yeah. But yeah, Connect scores 37, which ties the record of most points scored by an opponent inside the Dean Dome. Wow. Had he known that, he probably takes those 2 free throws, whether he's on a knee, on one leg, shoots in on his head. He wouldn't have cared.
Yes.
So, but still holds the record, just with some other folks.
Right.
But
his 37 though made up for a certain senior who gave you nothing.
Joe Sullivan, literally nothing. Joe Sullivan said it yesterday.
Yeah.
And
it's made me a little bit more cognizant of it. Right.
And so Santiago Vescovi with 0 points, 0 for 2 from the floor. Didn't even try. I mean, just wasn't.
How does that happen?
And then got sacked. I mean, Rick Barnes said, "I've seen enough. If you're not going to help us, you got to sit with me."
Yep.
So that's what he did, and hopefully that's a wake up call to Santi,
because you need him,
because you got to have him to score. Obviously, Tennessee got to as low as 7 points last night.
After being down at least 22, it was 63-41 at one point. I know
it was brutal. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But and so Tennessee 3 losses in a row now. That's again to 1-2-17.
Yeah.
But
to 1-2 neutral at 17.
That's right.
So
if the worst loss that you have on your resume is at North Carolina, that seems okay. Now, it's not ideal because you want to win some of those games, but you also got to think about the travel. They just got back from Maui. They get to Knoxville and then got to go right back to Chapel Hill. I mean, I know it's not a far drive, but it's still, you got to, there's things, there's logistics and all of that, and you're not sleeping on your own bed. And I mean,
there's a lot.
Here's the reason it's not the bad thing, the worst thing in the world. What if this is the Rick Barnes flip season? Lose in November, win in March.
Hey,
I'd take that. I would take that.
Sure.
So,
absolutely.
No different this year for Vanderbilt, losing in November. Boston College comes from Memorial and takes care of business against the Commodores. I mean, we can talk till we're blue in the face about Jerry Stackhouse and the situation that Vanderbilt finds itself in, but I just don't know that anything can change.
Not for the better.
Well, I mean, I don't think you can change coaches at this point. I don't think there's anything that you can do if you're Vanderbilt administration, Candace Story-Lee. What can you do? Nothing.
I don't know that there's anything that anybody can do other than for them to play better. And, you know, I don't know. I mean, are the pieces just not there for them to be better? I can't imagine Stackhouse not having the best players on the floor that he can have on the floor. I think they're dealing with some injuries, which seems to be a constant for them. Sort of like the basketball version of the Titans or something. But
do they have similar strength and conditioning?
It's a heck of a question. You know, and you know, the elephant in the room, Lee Dort was arrested over the weekend on as a result of a domestic violence situation. And you know, I know we try not to talk a whole lot about that kind of stuff, but
the weird part about that is where he was arrested. He went to the basketball facility at 3 a.m.
After the situation, and that's where he was arrested.
And so my assumption is that, and this is what I would have done as a college athlete, call my coach. Coach, I'm in trouble. I got a thing. Okay, meet me here. Let's talk it out, figure out what to do. After he gets the situation, hey, you need to turn yourself in. Let's let them handle it. Because how else would they know that's where he is? I guess track his phone potentially. Right. But, I mean, I feel like they probably did it the right way. It's probably all. But it's interesting that the basketball facility was where he ended up going. I don't know that anyone was there. It's pure speculation as what I would have done as a college athlete.
You're right.
But it's interesting.
It is. I was unaware of that. But it's I don't want to be flip or disrespectful or anything like that to the situation, but that's clearly from a basketball standpoint the last thing Vanderbilt needs.
Absolutely. So it's just another thing on the list of things.
Yeah.
Yes. Before we get out of Vanderbilt and into Louisville's Kenny Payne. Clark Lee, speaking of changes, has made some.
Mm-hmm.
He's fired his offensive coordinator and has said he will coordinate the defense himself.
Right. Yes. Fired his offensive coordinator, Joey Lynch, demoted his defensive coordinator, who will now coach defensive secondary. And Clark Lee is going to be the defensive coordinator, which, I mean, if you want something done right, do it yourself, maybe. But, I mean, head coach / coordinator, certainly a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, you look at offensive coordinators who call plays. It doesn't work out great.
It does. Yeah, I mean, I won't say it doesn't work out, but it's you are adding to an already full plate as head coach when you decide to take on coordinator responsibilities.
It's what you do.
And it's certainly what he does, and it's where he's made his bones throughout his career. And so, I mean, maybe it's one of those things, you know, if you're going to get beat with your fastball, right?
There you go. Mo,
Chris,
look at me.
Look at me, man.
Kenny Payne said, "What?" There's throwing your players under the bus, and then there's backing up and running over.
Yeah. But here's the thing, man.
We got to play better. Is throwing your players under the bus a little bit. What Kenny Payne said was this man was worried about tights. Tights. We didn't have the kind of tights he wanted, so he said he didn't want to play. Halftime, he said, hey, maybe I do want to play, and I'll just play in whatever tights you got.
So he played in the tights that we've always had. We ain't never had the tights he wanted.
Never.
It ain't never been an issue till tonight.
So what are we doing?
Here's my thing, though. I mean,
but you know what? Sometimes you got to call a kid out.
Sometimes, absolutely. I am not mad at Kenny Payne. There's a lot of Kenny Payne shade being thrown as a result of this. I'm not throwing it because sometimes these kids need to own, or sometimes people need to own. Kids or not. If you're fool enough to say, you ain't got the kind of tights I want, I'm not going to play.
That just seems
I don't know that people don't deserve to know that.
Why did he wanted him to play?
Well,
here's why.
He didn't play in the first half. He played in the second half. What changed? Well, he changed.
His mind. About the tights. It's so wild.
It is. But there are folks that will tell you at Louisville over the last year and a half, it's not that wild.
No, it's not. The Kenny Payne era at Louisville has certainly been anything less than entertaining.
No. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, man. Well, Mo, it's time for our daily Titans report. So Terry McCormick is standing by. Let's take a break. Talk to Terry about the Titans right after this on Main Street Sports Today. Stick around.
Smiles. These are the healthy smiles of real Delta Dental members. Folks with access to the nation's largest network of dentists and low-deductible plans with 100% preventive care coverage, all backed by over 65 years of expertise. Go online or give us a call to learn about affordable individual plans that meet your needs. 1-855-844-0445.
He shoots, and he scores!
Since 1975, Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint Clinic has treated the orthopedic needs of Middle Tennessee residents. The trained physicians provide surgical options and minimally invasive options to treat all orthopedic needs. The walk-in clinic, OrthoQuick, helps you bypass the ER while treating sports injuries and acute needs Monday through Saturday. Visit MTBJ online at mtbj.net or on social media at Mid-Tennessee Bone Joint Clinic. Time now for your daily Titans report on Main Street Sports Today. The road show fueled by Fast Stop. And we have Terry McCormick coming your way talking about the Titans. Terry, what's up?
Hey guys, it is your daily Titans report, and it's powered as always by Zen Sports. You may have seen yesterday, if you were on Twitter or whatnot, or X or whatever we're calling it these days, a video of Will Levis with a little bit of hitch in his giddy up yesterday, and they listed him as limited in practice. Well, he looked a little better today. I put a video out that you can see on my Twitter feed, and you can see that he's moving with much more agility, shall we say, than he was a day ago. So certainly a step in the right direction for the Titans as far as their quarterback is concerned, and as far as what his ability to be able to do what he needs to do and take care of himself would be.
Well, I did see that video. I don't know if you saw it.
I did
not.
not.
He was hobbling a little bit, so glad to know that he is feeling a little bit better. And confirm this with ankle or toe. Is it the ankle that he was dealing with yesterday?
It is the ankle. And, he was listed last week on the injury report with toe/ankle. And if you remember, at the end of the first quarter in the game at Tampa Bay, remember when he had the 4-yard scramble and he looked a little bit kind of wonky doing that? He got that ankle taped right after the first quarter, went out and finished the game. So I'm presuming that it's just lingering of that same issue, and not sure if he re-aggravated it Sunday against the Panthers. He certainly didn't miss any time, but that is, I'm assuming, the same thing that he's been dealing with this whole time.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure. I didn't know. Yeah. All right.
Terry, before we let you go, Kalen Burks worked today as well?
Worked again. He was out there on the practice field during the open part. Yesterday, they listed him as limited. Haven't gotten the injury report just yet for today, but it'll be interesting to see if he goes from limited to full. But even if he's just limited again for a second straight day, it's a big step in the right direction for him. I'd say he's probably, if he goes to full, probably got a shot to play Sunday. If he's still limited, then that probably means they're going to hold him for one more week.
Can you tell us anything about this neck thing he's wearing?
Well, I haven't had a chance to ask him about it because guys who are in the concussion protocol are not allowed to be interviewed as long as they're in the protocol. Once he passes the concussion protocol, then we'd be allowed to interview him. And then, of course, Vrabel is not available either on Thursdays because the offensive, defensive, and special teams coordinators always talk. So tomorrow I should have more information about that. But apparently it's a very newfangled device that's come out that is designed to protect your brain and help to lessen the chances for concussions. So anything that can certainly help him in that regard, I'm sure the Titans are all for that.
All right. Well, it's an interesting thing. I saw it, so I'll be curious to see how that works for him. Hopefully, it works well because he certainly has had his share of concussion injuries, and so
yeah.
All right. Let's tell him about Zen Sports.
All right, let's talk about Zen Sports. Our partner Zen Sports is excited to launch their first new introductory promotion available to all new customers in Tennessee, the No Danger First Wager. When you sign up for a Zen Sports account, you will receive up to a $1,000 No Danger First Wager. And when you place your first bet in Zen Sports with up to plus 500 odds, you can be reimbursed for the amount of your bet up to a $1,000 maximum within 24 hours if the bet loses. Plus, Zen Sports has launched a new VIP program for the premier bettors of Tennessee. If you think you might qualify, listen up. Zen Sports is hosting a VIP tailgate and game experience this Sunday, December 3rd from 9 a.m. to noon for the Titans and Colts game at Nissan Stadium. That means food catered by a renowned chef, unlimited booze, and a private room for bet placing and mingling with fellow VIPs. The VIP program is by invite only, so if you feel your Zen Sports play qualifies for VIP consideration, then check out the program details and apply at zensports.com/VIP. No other sportsbook will offer you a premier sports betting experience with 24/7 top-tier customer support and bigger and better action than Zen Sports. So what are you waiting for? Get going and download their app at zensports.com today. Zen Sports, betting just got better. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-889-9789. Terms and conditions apply. Must be 21 and older and in Tennessee to bet.
He shoots, and he scores!
When you're on the go, you deserve service that's fast, friendly, and clean. You know what else you deserve? All the perks to go with it. At Fast Stop Markets, you can have both. Give yourself an upgrade. Enroll in Fast Stop Perks. Trust us, you'll be shocked at how fast the perks start rolling out. As a loyal Fast Stop customer, you'll feel like an A-list celebrity every time you walk through our doors. You can now shop and earn every time you visit our stores. Enroll in the Fast Stop Perks loyalty program and start earning points that you can spend like cash on fuel, food, and more. You can also earn great freebies, join reward clubs, and most importantly, use your points to get money off at the pump. It all happens at checkout with our friendly staff. Just be sure to use your Fast Stop Perks card or app every time you purchase. You want perks too, don't you? Enroll today and start earning the perks you deserve. Visit your local Fast Stop Markets or go to faststopperks.com to start earning your perks today. Fast Stop Markets, keeping you moving.
Welcome back to Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. Live from the Lee Company remote studio here at Finley Stadium in Chattanooga as we continue our coverage of the Blue Cross Bowl with some of the talent for the television broadcast here over the weekend, otherwise known as the VOT, Mike Keith. And we were trying to come up with something for the voice of the Blue Raiders. You know, Chip Walters comes on with us on Tuesday. But
the VORB? The VORB doesn't really resonate, does it?
It doesn't.
But
nothing.
Chip, I mean, he's Chip Walters.
He's Chip.
That's all he
really needs.
That's all he needs.
Mike Keith joining us. So glad to have him. You probably saw him a couple of segments ago as he kind of walked by and tapped us on the shoulder. Appreciate you looking out for us, man. Hey, what's going on out at we just got done with Terry McCormick with his daily
Maybe he could tell
top
me
of the
what's
hour.
going on with the Titans, because I'm obviously not there.
You're not there, but relative to what you expected coming into this season, what have you seen this year?
Well, to me, I came into the season cautiously optimistic. We understood that we were going to have to plug in some parts that we hoped would work because we didn't have a lot of money to spend. And we spent a first-round pick on a offensive lineman who's playing really well for us. We spent our second-round pick on a guy who I think is going to be our quarterback. But there were some other needs that we weren't able to hit. I mean, especially at left tackle, and we understood that. But there were some defensive spots that we were not able to fill in free agency with, like the big names out there, the sure things. So in these situations, you understand that if it doesn't work, you got to go young. And that is not the recipe for success in the NFL.
Not even in the AFC South.
Well, you don't see a team really in contention for the playoffs that's playing their 6 draft picks on offense. And at times we have 5 of the 6 on the field at the same time. So, I mean, that's just not the best thing in the world. Now, what it does do is we're young. We're getting a lot of experience. I think we will get better down the stretch. Maybe we have a run in us. You know, maybe we could sneak back into playoff contention. We'll see. But I think we're going to have a very good idea what we have at the end of the year in terms of the players who will be returning. And then the other part of it is we have 8 draft picks and over $80 million in cap room. So I think from an identifier standpoint, I mean, the end of time in the NFL is the next 3 years. So that, you know, that's kind of how it works. But he's a piece we could plug in. We know he's going to be there. We certainly know Tajay Spears is going to help us for a while. We certainly know Josh Wiley's going to help us for a while. What if we found something in Jalen Duncan at left tackle? And, you know, I go back to Levis. I'm so excited about Levis. He's much further along than I thought he would be at this moment in time.
And I'll tell you, I'm pretty much to the point where I have to eat some words because I was not enthused with that pick. But
well, there were a couple things that went with that. I was on, how would I say this best? I was sort of brought up to speed that he was going to be the pick if he were there. I thought realistically we could take him at 11. And I think had Skoronski not been there, I think there's a good chance we would have taken him at 11.
Would he not? Well, I mean,
that's how much they liked him.
But how much of a reach then was he at 11?
Nobody would have thought it. I mean, he's being talked about as the number 3 or 4 pick. But what happened is we couldn't pass up Skoronski, and then we started trying to trade back into the first round to get him. And it just turned out teams didn't need a quarterback.
Didn't need him.
And so all of a sudden you're like, could this be real? Could we only have to give up a 3rd-round pick to move up and get him? Because
draft day. What the movie?
The movie Draft Day.
Draft Day-ish.
Draft Day-ish. And the sense of it too, Mo, is that they felt like he was a lot to work with. They felt like physically he was. They felt like mentally he was. You know, one of the biggest things they worked on from his time at Kentucky is he'd make a bad play at Kentucky, and then he could go in the tank. And some of that was he's very hard on himself. He's a really serious guy. He wants to do well. And what they've taught him so far, and I think he's handled well, and what you've seen from Vrabel with him after good moments and bad moments is it's all the same. We've got to be right here, just steady all the time, Mo. And he got 6 months of working with our coaches, working with Tannehill, being with the offense, and kind of learning that very thing. And I think that's where he's tried to keep it. And I think in working with the mental and performance coaches, which is a big factor, he's mentioned that. That's an area where they felt like he could go up from where he was at Kentucky. And I think we've seen some of that to start with. And his physical gifts are – man, he can
clearly
inarguable.
Oh man, he can throw it.
Our biggest concern was his decision making, and to this point, it's been really, really good.
Well, here's the thing that's so important about that. Coach Mack, Dave McGinnis, who I work with, has a statement about the draft, and I've used this a few times. He says you would much rather have to teach a prospect than sick him.
I'll agree with that.
So there's so many quarterbacks who come in the league who will not pull the trigger.
Yeah, he's not afraid.
And then they get scared and they really won't pull the trigger. And, you know, we saw it with Mariota. Mariota had gotten to the point with us. And
I think we've seen it with Tannehill in the last.
Well, Tannehill's 35. It's a little different scenario, I think. But I get your point. The bottom line is we can teach Will Levis we could teach him that. He wants to gun the ball. He wants to use his arm. He's not scared. And if you're going to be a great quarterback in this league, you cannot be afraid. He's not afraid.
Gotta let it rip.
He reminds me so much of Brett Favre. It's unreal. I mean,
he's
just
got some of that in him.
Which ain't necessarily a compliment.
Well,
now.
Can be.
Can be.
I mean, but there's a lot more. I mean, his score on the P2 test?
Yeah.
Is that what the S2 or I can't remember. His score was off the charts. He's really, really smart, and he's really good at processing. So, the sense that we had was that he could do all of that. And I think you're going to continue to see growth for him. I'll tell you this. If we found our quarterback in the second round and he's going to cost us $5 million over the next 2 years, now in year 4, he'll cost a lot more than that. But what can you do?
And if Jalen Duncan works.
Well,
then you're in a whole other ball.
Oh, then you're playing with house money.
Yeah.
And Spears. Because then you're in a situation where you're able to stockpile talent at other places. That's what New England did with Tom Brady. That's what Seattle did with Russell Wilson. And that's how you have a chance to win a championship.
Mike Keith joining us here on Main Street Sports today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. And thanks to the Tennessee Highway Safety Office for having us here at the Blue Cross Bowl in Chattanooga, which Mike and your sidekick, Josh Corey, will be the broadcast crew for the final game of the night as McCallie and Baylor face off.
And Mike Vrabel's doing sidelines. Everybody from that's actually not true. That's not true. That would be untrue.
It's funny because
that would be something, though.
That would be
Yeah,
something.
During the Mr. Football stuff, and he asked you if the Blue Cross Bowl rotated. I'm sitting there thinking, well, if the weather is not too good this year, it might have to start talking about it in Nashville in a couple of years. Yeah. That dome gets in, we'll be in good shape, right?
Yeah. There's a lot you can do in the dome.
A lot you can do in the dome, including
a lot you can do,
especially in December.
Wear
right?
short
Do a lot
sleeves.
of concerts, do a lot of trade shows, do a lot of various gatherings, and it's a lot you can do in stadium
indoors. Absolutely.
2027, long time from now.
Now, this is your cameo appearance this weekend, right?
See, now you're going to go at my cameo appearance. I have a day job. We have a game on Sunday. Are you aware of this, Mo? Are you aware of this?
Do we play this week?
Play this week. We absolutely do play.
Listen,
it's Colts week.
But you know what?
It's Colts week.
It's Colts week.
Okay, so you want the story or not? You want the real story of why I'm here on Thursday night? Because I'm getting all this business from my buddies who are saying, oh, Mr. Diva guy, you demanded to do Baylor McCallie. That's what you think, isn't it?
No, not at all. No, I know
That's
you're
what he
better than
thinks.
that. No.
That's what he thinks.
You know, if I thought it, I'd tell you.
That's true. Yeah, you never have to guess.
No, I told Matthew Gillespie back in August, he was kind enough to call me and say, would you like to do games this year? And I said, let me look at it. And so then I got Coach Vrabel's assistant, and we went through what our production schedule was going to be on Fridays, and it changes from year to year. And we looked at the schedule of what our games are, and I called Matthew back, and I said, the only game I can work is Thursday night because I have to get back. And so after they played the first time on September 29th, I called Matthew back. I said, is there a chance that Baylor could play McCall? And he said, yeah, there's a chance. And so then you get into the playoffs, and I'll admit, I was not rooting against anybody, but I was stalking the possibility that this could happen because they think here tonight no less than 18,000.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe 16,000 tickets sold as of last night.
Jeez.
So it's going to be fun.
What a night it's going to be.
But I did not diva my way into it.
But the bigger point that I'm wanting to get to, in all seriousness, Mike, is this means this much to you.
It does.
Because you do have a day job, and it's a pretty good one.
It's fair.
And
yeah.
at the same time, you try to figure out ways to be involved with this. And I'll tell you, and I've told you this before, I think it's admirable.
Well, thank you.
I really do.
And we appreciate it as viewers. You know, if we, like last year, we weren't able to be here. We had to watch it on television, and it gives a level of
How many times do you think these kids are going to go back and watch a game that Mike Keith, the VOT, has called?
You're nice to say that.
But
we try real hard to make it as big time as we can, and it was nice to have 13 days to get ready for it because there was a lot of history to go through. If I'd been doing it when I do a D1 game, I only have 6 days to get ready. But this was really special to learn the history of Baylor and McCallie, which I lived here for 4 years before we moved to Franklin. And according to my dad told me a story 5-10 years ago that had we stayed here, I would have gone to one of these two schools. That was his plan.
Were you going to board?
He would like that.
Yeah, exactly.
No, we lived here.
So?
But I'm not saying which school because I don't want the perception that I think I would have gotten in because I might not have. and B, I don't want to cause any problems for myself tonight. But yeah, he told me that story, and so I started to sort of follow the history a little bit because I don't know that everybody understands who they are and what their overall history is and how many great players have come through each program, how many famous people have gone to each school, and that it is the oldest rivalry in the state of Tennessee.
And people may not also understand that Baylor's 34-31 win in that game that you referenced back in September snapped a 7-game win streak for McCallie.
McCallie has had good success. Ralph Potter is 17-6 against Baylor. And when he was at Baylor, he was 2-1 against McCallie. So
he can take his and beat urine and take urine and beat his.
He's had a really interesting look at this. So his dad was the coach from 73 to 93. And so he saw it as a little kid, and then he played in it. And then he coached at Baylor for 5 years as an assistant and then 3 years as the head coach. So he was at Baylor for 8 years. Then he went back to McCallie for 10. He went to Brentwood Academy for 5. So then he could see it from afar as a coach.
Coach against both of them, probably.
And then he went back in 2012. So, I mean, it's an intriguing thing. There was a very controversial call in the first game that went against Baylor, which has everybody all sort of stirred up about tonight, too.
Doesn't take much to get them stirred up.
Oh, they don't like each. They don't agree. They don't even agree when they officially started play.
Oh, goodness.
McCallie says one thing and Baylor says another. And if you don't, I mean,
if you don't know when you started playing,
they know they played, but was it a real game or not? And McCallie says
Depends
it was.
on who won.
Well, McCallie
must have
won.
So McCallie counts it.
So McCallie has 2 more wins in the series in their listing
than Baylor. Baylor has losses.
Let me tell you something. I think that's the greatest thing in the world.
It is amazing.
When it comes to football, good hate is a beautiful thing.
Oh, absolutely.
I love good hate.
We love Mike Keith.
Thank you.
Mike, appreciate you, man.
Always good, man.
Thank you.
Yep. Mike Keith here on Main Street Sports Today. We're going to take a break, come back to Chattanooga. Thanks to our friends at Tennessee Highway Safety Office here on the Main Street Sports Today Roadshow, fueled by Fast Stop. Stick around. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net. Custom Stone Handler supplies over 600 distributors and suppliers with quality stone products. Along with River Stone, we produce and distribute over 100 building, landscape, and other bulk products. Our goal is to provide quality products, service, and partnerships to ensure our customers' success. We firmly believe that the measure of any person or company is how they treat other people and customers. Give them a call at 931-490-4990 or visit CustomStonehandlers.com. Mockingbird Title and Escrow is an attorney-owned and operated full-service title company in Middle Tennessee. We get your deals closed without worry and fuss. We're a family business that offers the highest level of expertise in our industry when it comes to closing and funding your real estate transactions.
And it's a job I really love. I'm passionate about this. I'm enthusiastic about this. I like to think we're pretty well rounded and can deal with a wide range of needs and a wide range of clients.
Call 615-274-8698 today.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Piggly Wiggly, located in Neely's Mill Shopping Center, is Columbia's locally owned and operated Cost Plus 10 grocery store dedicated to serving the community with low prices and smiling faces. Piggly Wiggly offers fresh, hand-cut meats daily, as well as daily hot plate lunches from their deli counter. You're certain to see smiling faces and a helping hand when you're here at Piggly Wiggly. Come by and check out our fresh produce, high-quality meats, and more. Down home, down the street, we'll see you at the Pig.
Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.
He shoots, and he scores!
Welcome back in Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone & Joint. Chris Yao, Mo Patton. It is the Main Street Sports Today Roadshow, fueled by Fast Stop Markets. And make sure to go by and sign up today for Fast Stop Perks. Using your phone number, you can get up to $1 off of gas per gallon. That's not just $1. That's per gallon.
Per gallon.
That's a lot.
That is a lot.
It's a good chunk of change. So make sure that you do that. We are in Chattanooga here at Finley Stadium. Halftime of the Division II Class A state championship. 14-6 is the score in favor of Middle Tennessee Christian. But again, Friendship Christian has been down in each of the last two ball games. So very important to note. They've come back to win in each of those. So second half will be fun.
Convincingly.
That's right. So Tyson Walcott only gets better as the day goes on.
Apparently.
So make sure to tune in if you have not and stick around. We'll get you the final score a little bit later. Thanks to our friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office for having us here. Mo, we just talked about with Mike Keith, good hate.
Mm-hmm.
There may be good hate with McCauley and Baylor, but you know where there's not good hate?
There is not good hate in Marion County. And we are joined by Chattanooga Times Free Press sports editor and published author of 8 Hateful Miles, which when I was talking about it earlier in the week, I said 7 Angry Miles, but I was close.
They probably wouldn't disagree with that either.
Well,
they disagree with each other.
They disagree with the 7 anyway. But Stephen Hargis joining us here on Main Street Sports today. And one of those teams on one end of that 8 Hateful Miles is going to be playing tomorrow. The other one, not so much.
Had a really good season and then lost in the second round. Yeah, so
Dallas
Tim Starkey is their new head coach and did a really good job this year. Went undefeated through the regular season, so wouldn't be surprised if they're not over here at some point with him.
Good. It's good when they're both good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, for us, it's very good.
I'm sure it's good, very good for
yes.
y'all, but
yes.
I just think, having covered the high school football game for as long as I have in this state, when both South Pitt and Marion County are good, Stephen, it just feels right when certain teams are.
Yeah, those traditional teams, it's always a lot more fun because the communities don't need a whole lot of prodding to get into it. Once Marion, they saw Marion was going to be good this year, their community really started turning back out again to support the team, and that was great to see. But that's always it's always fun to see the up and coming teams too. But those established programs that have got multiple state championships in the past, that's when it's really fun to see them get back up there.
8 Hateful Miles. Check it out. This one tonight, though, Stephen, and you've kind of had a front row seat for all of this. We were just talking to Mike. I mentioned Baylor's win earlier this year snapped a 7-game win streak in the series for McCallie. Obviously, the Blue Tornado wanting to get back on the right side of that thing, and what better time to do it than in the state finals?
Yeah, and it was actually last year Baylor won that one. This year McCallie returned the favorite. So McCallie won this one. Yeah. Baylor won last year's and used that as a springboard to win the state championship. And then McCallie got a little bit of revenge this year with a 3-point win. But yeah, I mean it's been back and forth the last 2 years. I expect it to be the same thing this year. Last year and this year's regular season matchups basically were a 3- and 4-point decision, and it was who had the ball last. Somebody had to either make a play to score and win it or make a defensive play to stop them. But I mean, those teams have traded back and forth so much, and there's so much talent on the field. I just saw somebody from Findlay here earlier and asked them how ticket sales were going, because they said this morning at the Boyd Buchanan game, they were around 17,000 at that time. They said now at 6 o'clock they're officially going to cut off the ticket sales because they're that close to a sellout right now.
My goodness.
And what's it hold?
21.6-ish. So there'll be, and I know Matthew Gillespie had said earlier, there's all kinds of coaches who didn't have to get a ticket, who have their TACA passes or whatever. So there'll be an easy 22,000 walking around here. So yeah, it'll be an
you won't
event.
be walking anywhere. You'll be shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah, true. Find a spot and stand. Yeah,
and don't move.
Said, Stephen, I mean, would they ever consider neutral site?
Oh, the
regular season?
The two of them, they have played here before on a neutral site. The schools didn't like it because even when they had one year, there was like 13 or 14,000 here for a regular season game. They still felt like it lost a little something not being on campus, because those two programs have alumni weekend. They've got hundreds of alumni that come in that want to basically just set up camp for the weekend on their campus. So they preferred to have it there. Felt like it made it a little more exclusive. And so it was just a bigger deal for them to keep it there. But they've had it here before, and it did well. But one of the things I know in talking with some coaches from around our area that normally don't get to go because their team's playing on a Friday night, so they can't come. Or because when it's at Baylor or at McCallie, you're pretty limited to how many tickets you can sell.
Right.
So now there was no limit to it up until 6 o'clock today. And so you're going to have I think you'll see a lot of just as many people who just want to be looky-loos and come in and
who
see
don't
it.
necessarily have a dog in the hunt.
Right.
Yeah. That's all. Well,
that's what
it should be about.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I saw some kids walking around from East Nashville with their jumpsuits on. I mean, hopefully they're going to be here to get to stick around and watch it, because, I mean, the atmosphere will just be incredible. The two student sections going back and forth at each other. I mean,
they have been all week.
Yes, it's what it's all about. I mean, we've seen here in Chattanooga, you kind of get used to seeing the pickup trucks with the red B or the blue M kind of waving through going all over town. And usually there's some kind of, pranks or whatever going on around town between the two schools too. So, I mean, it's got everything you'd want for a high school football game. And even if you're not a huge fan of either team or whatever, just the amount, I think there's 11 players that have Power 5 offers that will be playing tonight. So, I mean, if you're a college football fan, there's a reason to come out and watch these guys.
I'm interested to see one of those 11. Amari Jefferson, the receiver from Baylor, who was a Tennessee baseball commit and now is an Alabama football commit, which it's not bad.
You can't go wrong either way there.
Nope. He is absolutely the real deal. When we had our Dynamite Dozen list, he was number 1, and that's saying something for us this year because we had Boo Carter.
Dynamite Dozen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Much better than Dandy.
So, Boo Carter, as good as he is, we from all the recruiting folks that we talked to, thought Amari was just a notch, just barely a little above. And every time I've seen him play, he's lived up to it. When they played Lipscomb, they had Caleb Beasley on him, and he went off. I think he had 7 or 8 catches for about 100 yards, a couple of touchdowns, and even came over at one point on a big play. And they were talking to the offense, and he never speaks up, and he said, he can't guard me. They threw it to him. Boom, he got the first down. Actually went for a touchdown on that one. And that's kind of what our guy wrote about was, I mean, he basically called his shot. He's that good.
Wow.
He's special.
Okay.
And he's got the size. I mean, that's the thing, guys. He's a lot of times you'll see high school kids who are maybe 6 foot 170. I mean, this is a kid who's 6 foot 6'1" probably, but he's a little over 200 pounds. He's put together now. I mean, he looks the part.
He'd look good on a diamond though too.
Yeah, he does. I've seen him play baseball, and
good on
let me tell you,
orange.
that kid can cover a lot of ground in the outfield, and he can turn on just about anything thrown his way.
See, I just that blows my mind, man. Any time it's between baseball and football, I'm choosing baseball. But that's,
he's going to play both. That was his reason to go. Alabama told him you can play both. Yeah. So he went down
And
the weekend.
Tennessee wouldn't.
Tennessee told him, that he could, but for whatever reason, he went to Alabama for a visit. 2 days later, when he came back, some folks thought he was leaning to Tennessee. I'm sure there was some NIL discussions made when he was in Tuscaloosa, but he came back from his visit to Alabama and was sold. That's where he wanted to go to play baseball and football.
Hey, good for him. Look, that's great for that young man. He is the real deal. He
Okay,
reminds
so
me
next
a lot.
question though. Does he get there?
Does he get to Alabama?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
So draft.
Not gonna
I don't
matter.
think he's high enough. I think the prospects of what he could do at Alabama, because he mentioned several times how Saban develops receivers, and he thinks I think he wants to play both to kind of see which avenue takes him to the pros faster or higher. So I think he's going to get to Alabama and at least see how things work out there.
Probably a good call. But still, man, just to
he's not hard to find.
Yeah.
when you look out on the field, a lot of times and you kind of go, okay, I've heard of so and so. Who is he? When Amari Jefferson trots out on the field, you go,
there he
That's
is.
him.
That's a him.
There he is.
There he is.
He's him.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Stephen, speaking of 8 hateful miles, again, South Pittsburgh back at it. Taking
Rematch
on
of 2 years ago?
Yeah.
3.
21.
Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
Okay. And McKenzie won it last year, right?
Last year, they are the defending 1A champion. Yep.
Okay, so what are your Pirates expecting? What are you expecting out of the Pirates? Is it Camden Wellington?
Mhm.
Is he going to go?
That's the big thing for them is he's got a high ankle sprain. He suffered last week at Oliver Springs. You guys know those things don't heal very quickly.
No,
not within a week.
Right. They're going to tape it up tight, I'm sure. Wrap it up, see if
Last
he can
game
go.
of the year, Brent. Can't hold anything back.
I saw him earlier this week to do a story on their defense, and I asked him, he said, game time decision. We'll see. He goes, they're going to have to literally hold me off the field to keep me from going. But he said, if I can't maneuver and can't be myself out there, I don't want to hurt my team either.
That's right.
So I feel bad for the kid, senior, two-time Mr. Football semifinalist. He brings their best when he's mobile, because a lot of times direct snap to him, and they've got a big tight end that they can kind of lead through the hole for him. Without that, now all of a sudden that guy that plays tight end might have to play quarterback like he did last week. So you take some players off of where you normally have them. I think they've got the work cut out for them.
Yeah, but it's South Pittsburgh. When you talk about traditional powers, they are one. And it's, anytime that they're in a state championship game, that's even the Class A game, you certainly expect the atmosphere will be really, really good for that one. Looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to all these games. This is a great place for a high school football championship. It's the perfect size. It's a great atmosphere, and this city really does it right.
Well, as a Chattanoogan, I appreciate that. I agree that it is a good size. I always thought when it was in Murfreesboro, I liked it there too, because that's you didn't feel like it was an enormous stadium, but it was big enough. You had the jumbotron, you had the turf, you had all the nice things. So I liked it when it was in Murfreesboro as well. Plus, it was centrally located. Here, it's meant a lot to have it here. I know for the folks that put on the events here, and they've had a lot of the volunteers and that kind of thing. No shortage of that, because I think it's something Chattanooga. We in Chattanooga started the Spring Fling back in 1993, so we've always kind of supported high school sports and wanted to be known as someone who does support high schools. I always say Chattanooga's the biggest small town you'll ever live in, because you can go from Cleveland and people ask you how's McCallie, or you can go to Baylor and people ask you how Calhoun, Georgia is, because our area is kind of a lot of people love the small town feel to it. So it's a big deal to have high school sports here.
That said, how concerned are the powers that be about what's developing in Nashville in terms of the indoor facility for the Titans?
How concerned are they, or how concerned should they be? I mean, they should be pretty concerned, because my personal opinion, I think if the Titans want it and you can play it in that new
And you can
new
play
facility,
with
and it's a dome. I mean, because we're talking about tomorrow and Saturday. Tomorrow morning it's going to rain. Then there's the chance of showers throughout the rest of the day. I'm sure that'll affect some of the crowd. And then Saturday, again, possibility of rain. So you got a roof, you don't worry about it.
That'll work. Short sleeve weather.
Yeah,
all day long.
If the Titans want it, and I guess it's up to them. If they really want it and they want to host it, I think most people, rational thinking people, realize it's going to go to Nashville. So I'm not sure how concerned they are here. They should be pretty concerned.
Well, I would hate to see it leave forever because I do feel like you guys do a great job. And I mean, hey, ice skating just across the way if you want to go. And speaking of high ankle sprains, you can get you one over there.
Yeah.
You can get a couple.
Yeah. Or worse. Yeah.
So, yeah. But Stephen Hargis here joining us on Main Street Sports today. Stephen, what is the game that you're most looking forward to outside of the ones that obviously you're covering?
Outside of obviously the Baylor McColley, because that's just going to be an event. More than it's going to be an event. And obviously we've got only one other game involving a local team would be South Pitt tomorrow. But the one for me, just as a person, because I know this guy, Adam Kane, who's the head coach at Upperman. He coached at Sequatchie County. He's actually from McColley. Right. He played at McColley, was an assistant at McColley, later coached Sequatchie County, got them all the way to the semifinals. They lost to Alcoa, like most teams. Part of a state championship, and I know Upperman getting there is a huge deal for that community and for him. I'm really happy for Adam because he's a football guy. That's a guy who lives and breathes football, and he does such a great job. And I'm glad whatever happens in that game, I'm glad he at least gets to experience this as someone that I know.
That's awesome. Stephen Hargis, sports editor of the Chattanooga Times Free Press, author of 8 Hateful Miles. Go get it.
On Amazon.
Go get it. Yeah. Christmas is coming up. It's a great Christmas present, and I've got Christmas presents to buy myself. So, yeah.
There you go.
We appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Always.
Absolutely.
We'll take a break. When we come back here on the Main Street Sports Today Roadshow, fueled by Fast Stop, we're going to talk a little bit about a ranking of Tennessee NCAA football teams. Also, the SEC made an announcement today, so we'll get to that very quickly. All of that coming up right after this. Main Street Sports Today. Stick around. Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint treats your orthopedic injuries and existing conditions. Our trained physicians will get you back in the game faster. Contact us at 931-381-2663 or www.mtbj.net.
With Lee Company technology, the best handymen are hands-off. Lee Company techs have been using visual findings and other smart technology tools for years to add transparency and virtually take customers along. You see what we see, whether we're in a crawl space or on a roof. With Lee Company, technology helps us help you, no matter what's happening in the world or at your house.
Jones & Lang Sporting Goods here in Columbia has been outfitting teams, officials, and anybody else from T-ball to college for 50-plus years. Be sure and check them out at 931-388-8060 or online at jonesandlang.com. Jones & Lang Sporting Goods, the look of a winner.
Zion Christian Academy, zioneagles.org or 931-388-5731. You can schedule your appointment. Go tour their campus. It is beautiful over there, and you're definitely going to want to see it. Again, it's zioneagles.org. Give them a call, 931-388-5731, and schedule your tour today. Mockingbird Title and Escrow is an attorney-owned and operated full-service title company in Middle Tennessee. We get your deals closed without worry and fuss. We're a family business that offers the highest level of expertise in our industry when it comes to closing and funding your real estate transactions.
And it's a job I really love. I'm passionate about this. I'm enthusiastic about this. I like to think we're pretty well rounded and can deal with a wide range of needs and a wide range of clients.
Call 615-274-8698 today.
Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint has been the official sports medicine provider for Murray County Schools for more than 40 years. We specialize in orthopedic service, and our Ortho Quick Walk-In Clinic lets you bypass the ER. Visit us online at www.mtbj.net.
Welcome back into Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. It is the Main Street Sports Today Roadshow, fueled by Fast Stop Markets, and thanks to the Tennessee Highway Safety Office for allowing us to be here at the Blue Cross Bowl and all of the great fine folks over there. Remember, fans, don't let fans drive drunk. It's 21-6 now in favor of the Cougars from Middle Tennessee Christian, and watch out. Here we go.
Friendship's got them right where they want them,
Yeah,
right?
They must. They must. They like to be down 14. So, couple of things, Mo. First, wanted to I teased on the other side. I apologize. We're up against our time, so tomorrow we will go through a certain Twitter account's ranking of NCAA basketball teams in the state of Tennessee. Great ranking. Some interesting decisions. So we'll talk about those tomorrow. But before we get to high school football picks, the SEC made an announcement today about its football championship game.
The football championship game of the Southeastern Conference will be played, surprise, surprise, at Mercedes-Benz Stadium through 2031. So you can continue to make your plans for Atlanta for another, 8 years, I guess.
Yeah, the more you talk about it, the more you think about it. I don't think the thing's ever going to move, and I'm not sure that it should.
I don't know that it needs to.
Yeah, I think Mercedes-Benz does a great job in general, but you've got
everything.
You've got the Hall of Fame that's right there. Atlanta knows how to make that thing work, and it does such a great job. You just gotta sometimes, the best thing to do is
nothing.
So, yeah, looking forward to Atlanta continuing to hold that because it's the best place for it for now.
Now,
Arlington may be in the mix in the Nashville could be in the mix in the future. I don't know. We'll see.
Right now,
but until 2031, we ain't gonna have that discussion. It's like the shot clock.
We're not going to talk about
Don't bring it up for 3 more years.
Nope, not going to talk about
8 more years of this. So, and this is one other thing I wanted to touch on before we get to the picks. Remember yesterday you said Mike Riley had a job? I said Mike Riley had a job. I don't know that that's the case anymore.
Oh.
As the New Jersey Generals do not exist.
Oh.
As of today, the USFL made its announcements of the USFL-XFL merger into the United Football League. And New Jersey not among the teams. Memphis and Birmingham are. So that will continue. Memphis, Birmingham, Houston Gamblers, and what did I say? Houston, Memphis, Birmingham, and
Philadelphia?
Nope. Michigan.
Michigan.
Yes, the Panthers.
The Panthers
will join DC.
Anthony Carter, stand up, right?
DC Defenders, Arlington Renegades, the San Antonio, whatever they were, and the St. Louis Battlehawks.
You know who else played for the Michigan Panthers? Former Shelbyville Central football coach Whit Taylor.
Wow. That's funny.
Yeah.
The Michigan Panthers were good back in the day. So. Anyway.
Who played at Vanderbilt?
We have 6 games to pick.
Let's pick them.
I got to pull up the thing so I know who I picked.
There you go. Because you don't want to be wrong.
I don't want to. Well, if I just go the opposite, I would actually do better.
Yeah.
But
so we picked today's 3 games yesterday, and so far we're 1-0. And as of this moment,
not looking good,
not looking great. And then I took McCauley in the late game. Okay. All right, just to get everybody up to speed.
Right,
so tomorrow
we'll get off to a easy start. We'll ease into it. Because
tomorrow, the early game, 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock here in Chattanooga. It's the 3A championship, 12-1 Alcoa, 12-2 East Nashville.
Man, you can't pick against Alcoa in this game. You just can't do it. I would love for East Nashville to come out here, win the football game, and send Alcoa home crying. I would love to be wrong. Please.
That's it.
Please make me wrong.
Alcoa has won its last 8 championship games. So East Nashville is got its work cut out for it. And, you know, like you said.
If I can finagle my way into that tacker room and get all the 3A coaches together, you do the best bet I'm going to.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if I would love to see East Nashville win that game. I think a lot of folks would love to see East Nashville win that game.
Everybody outside the city of Alcoa.
Yeah. But
including our friends in Pulaski.
Oh, without question. Yeah. But I'm picking Alcoa.
Me too.
So
Me too.
The 2:00 Central, 3:00 Eastern game is the Class 1A championship that we were just talking to Stephen about.
Do you need to amend your pick after getting that information?
Nah, I'm gonna roll with it. I mean, even without their quarterback, they were still plenty impressive in their win against Oliver Springs last weekend. South Pittsburgh, McKenzie. McKenzie is the defending 1A state champion. South Pittsburgh won it 2 years ago, defeating
McKenzie. This is the third straight trip for the Rebels.
Yeah, I like South Pittsburgh.
I got to go McKenzie in this one, man. And look, McKenzie showed me a lot. You know, just I feel like that side of the 1A bracket is an absolute murderer's row. And they navigated it with relative ease. So give me the Rebels.
The Rebels. Okay.
The repeating Rebels.
In the nightcap, we spoke to Charles Rathbone earlier in the show. His Patriots 13-1 in a rematch of last year's state championship game against the 13-1 Knox West Rebels.
Did not get the first down.
Wow. All indications are this one's going to be a defensive struggle because both these teams have been playing fantastic defense here, particularly over the course of the postseason. Coach Rathbone mentioned that finishing drives had been an issue offensively for his team. And I think West figures out a way to get just enough done to win this ball game. But again, I would not mind being wrong.
Knoxville West, their lone loss is a 24-7 defeat at the hands of Alcoa. That being said, Alcoa also lost to Maryville, so you know whatever. There's rivalries involved in that.
Sure.
Outside of I think Knoxville West could be the best public school team in the state, including Oakland. And so for that reason, I think they get the win. They're just such a good football team. And again, I'd love to be wrong. I would love for Paige to come out here and just stuff them on every drive and get enough done. But I just don't think they can do it for 48 minutes.
Yeah.
I think I can do it, but not for 48 minutes.
We're through three quarters here.
And it's
21-6 Middle Tennessee Christian. So, Saturday, the early game, Stephen talked about Upperman coach Adam Kane, the Bees 14-0 taking on 14-0 Pearl Coney in the 4A finals.
Somebody's going undefeated. Somebody's going to suffer their first loss.
Yeah.
Man, I love Pearl Coney. I think at this, again, what is this, their third straight trip? Or third in 4 years?
I think it's their third in 4 years.
This is again another program that Tony Bernetti has put together, and you lose Barry and Brown 2 years ago, and still have a great year last year. Class 4A seems to be a great spot for them, and I don't think Upperman's got the horses to keep up with the Firebirds this time.
I just think Pearl Coney is too explosive.
They're just explosive.
Yeah,
gosh, they're good.
I'm taking Pearl Coney as well. The second game Saturday. 3 o'clock here, 2 o'clock back home. Decatur County Riverside, which played in last year's state championship, lost to Tyner of Chattanooga. They are 12-2, taking on East Robertson, 13-1, making their first state championship game appearance.
You know what I love about this game is that I feel like East Robertson has so much to play for. They have fought and fought and fought to get to the semifinals and now to the finals. And it just, over the years, this program has built up to this moment.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had great athletes 2 or 3 years ago, couldn't quite get over the hump. And this team just feels like a team of destiny to a degree. That being said, Decatur County Riverside, what they did to Mount Pleasant, which I know, looking back, Mount Pleasant was just diluted thanks to injuries and other disciplinary reasons. I thought that Riverside was going to go into Fairley and just run all over them. And they it took a little bit of time to get there. And they took care of business. This Riverside team just feels like they are a machine.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that the Indians have enough. So
I'm
going to have to go Panthers in this one. No, I'm sorry. No, I did not.
Oh, no.
I went East Robertson.
No.
Team of Destiny.
They may very well be a team of destiny. They've got a Mr. Football finalist, excuse me, and Isaiah Groves, the junior running back. Hey, it's gotten cold here in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Don't be making fun of Justin.
I'm not. I looked down and he didn't have any arms.
Don't make fun of Justin.
What happened to his arms?
Decatur County Riverside has a Mr. Football finalist in their quarterback, Stone Wallace, but they've also got a running back, Desmond Thomas, who is just a battering ram.
Yeah.
And
good.
In the words of Marshawn Lynch, over and over and over again, and eventually you just don't want anymore. And I don't know if that's going to be the case for East Robertson or not, but I think this is going to be a physical ball game, and I think Riverside gets it done after falling in the championship game last year. I think that been there, done that kind of
being here
gets them over the top. Yeah,
sure does.
Championship game in 6A closes things out on Saturday night as Oakland and Houston, both 12-2. Houston gets here with a 28-0 win over at Brentwood in the semifinals.
And avenging their lone loss on the season in the week before. So, look, this Houston team, you go read John Varlas's Twitter account.
Mm-hmm.
They feel disrespected. That being said, it's kind of hard to disrespect someone by saying that the three-time going for 4-time state champion is the other team. It's not disrespect to you.
It's respecting
respect for them.
Yeah.
What they have done.
Again, Oakland has won each of the last 3 Class 6A state championships. They've only lost 1 game in state this year, and they avenged that in the quarterfinals of the playoffs with a vengeance.
Yes.
They lost by a point. They won by 56.
50, yes.
So, we've said it before. I'll say it again. I'm picking Oakland, and Houston will just have to make me be wrong.
Yep. You can't not. Again, it's like Alcoa. You can't not pick them.
No.
Because you look like a dummy if you don't. And I might be a dummy, but I'm not
going to look like one. There you
I'm
go.
not going to,
not on this anyway.
I'm not going to prove it.
There you go.
So I, too, have the Patriots, but trust me, Houston, no disrespect to you guys.
No disrespect meant. None.
It's strictly business. So, man, what a great show it's been. It's always fun when you're at events like this because it's like Mike Keith walked by, folks like Ronnie Carter walked by, and you get a chance to say hello and see some friendly faces and get some folks on the show, and we greatly appreciate all of those folks. Charles Rathbone, of course, Stephen Hargis and Mike Keith for joining us today. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, we'll see who we come up with tomorrow.
Let's do it again tomorrow. This has been Main Street Sports Today. It is the road show fueled by Fast Up, and again, we're here in Chattanooga at the Blue Cross Bowl. Thanks to our friends at the Tennessee Highway Safety Office. Fans, don't let fans drive drunk. Come back with us tomorrow on Main Street Sports Today, presented by Mid-Tennessee Bone and Joint. We'll see you then.